Welcome to Team Room Talk. My name is Richard Davis, President and founder of Team Room, War, Hope, and Growth, retired Green Beret, and certified trauma professional. And so I'm glad you're here with me today to be able to listen to a short episode on all things Team Room. Welcome to the first installment of Team Room Talk. This is going to be a discussion about who we are. Just being able to share just a little bit of information is I have the website up, I have a lot going on, but I want to be able to come to you in this short little video and explain just a little bit more. What was the heart behind establishing this nonprofit? So Team Room, War, Hope, and Growth that developed out of a dissertation that I had completed at Midwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, and it was focusing on developing integrated trauma care ministries to care for spouses of combat veterans struggling with war. But it was a focus on spouses, and it was a 10-week project that was put together and defended successfully. Also became a certified trauma professional to be able to understand what it is that our combat veterans, but also myself as a combat veteran with 6 combat rotations between Afghanistan and Iraq. I too have struggled with things that even my spouse said it was time that I needed to get some help. And so I look at these areas, one for myself, but also it's like, how do I help explain this to my brothers and sisters in combat, the things that they're working through, but also help our spouses understand what it is that we're struggling with. Because war has changed us, but war just doesn't change the veteran, it changes the entire family. So this came out of a dissertation project. This is the 2.0 version of what I have done, and called it Team Room, War, Hope, and Growth, because yes, we do focus on combat, but we also want to be able to share about the hope that we have in reclaiming that life after service, the hope that's found in Jesus Christ, his work and his life that he lived. So this is all coming from a Christian worldview, and I want that upfront and known, which you will see even on the website, and you will even be able to read our statement of faith. But also when it comes to growth, is that this idea of growing past our areas of things that we're struggling with, is that we really want to emphasize growth. We want to be able to help veterans, combat veterans that are struggling today. We want to be able to encourage them and say that, yes, you can grow. And there are many organizations that contribute to this greatly. And I always encourage them to be able to go to any of those courses that they offer, those retreats that they offer. As a matter of fact, when I was serving as a pastor at First Baptist Church Clarksville, as a military pastor, I received thousands of dollars in materials from one of these organizations just to be able to help our veteran community. So this is some great areas. The focus of Team Room is to help educate others that are working with combat veterans and their spouses. And so we wanted to be able to take the areas that we're learning, the things that we're seeing in our veteran community, and be able to help. How does military training change us from a civilian to a warrior? But then we also want to talk about being a warrior athlete. How does that influence us? How does that change? How does that remain a part of us after we leave combat or we leave service? But also when it comes to combat itself. So we will talk about post-traumatic stress, we will talk about SOPs, we will talk about moral injury, we will talk about sleep issues, and the importance of quality sleep. But we also want to talk about post-traumatic growth. And all this is done through a Christian worldview, and why the next video is going to be on educational philosophy on there. So we want to be able to share these things with organizations. We will share with pastors, with chaplains, with churches, seminary students. We want to be able to share this with them if they're going to be engaged in working with the military community. And so we are doing that here in the United States, that we have been at several retreats where this has shaped and developed not only my dissertation, but also when it comes to Team Room. But then also Ukraine, is that we have been traveling to Ukraine. My wife and I have been traveling to Ukraine, working with Ukrainian warriors, veterans, and their spouses, talking with them, because it's just not principles that we are sharing with people, but we are looking at for the application, is that practical application, practical response to the needs. So one, understand it. The psychoeducation is that everybody focuses on that, but two, how do you apply these? So working with pastors or churches and saying, develop an integrated trauma care ministry. You can care for our veteran community. The more that you understand these principles, the more you can apply them. So that's what our focus is that, yes, we do talk with veterans and spouses, but our primary area is education in the educational ministry are for the organizations that are wanting to serve, to care, and to minister amongst our military. And that's why we've been going to Ukraine. They have sought out our work and developed, I helped prepare 16 lessons to teach at a seminary at the Institute of Leadership and Coaching at the Ukrainian Baptist Theological Seminary. And it has continued to grow from there. More and more institutions, organizations, they're asking for this information. So we have been traveling and speaking, but on our next trip, we're going to be able to witness the fruit of what has already have been coming out and being able to share this information. We are going to be traveling to a retreat that was started up with service women, or not service women, spouses of service members caring for spouses of service members. So it's very exciting. And wife and I will be traveling there. We'll be able to meet and to see them and to listen to what they're teaching. And that was all based off of what God has allowed us to do in sharing this information a couple years ago. And so now we're going to be going, we'll also be going to locations in the United States. We're going to be working at retreats, serving at retreats, because it's just not teaching, but it's applying these principles. So we want to be able to show what it is that these look like, because it's great to just share knowledge, which is important, but we want to give veterans the tools and the spouses the tools that they need to experience growth. So that's what our focus is Team Room, War, Hope, and Growth. I'm not a clinician. I'm not a therapist, although I'm a certified trauma professional. As I sought that certification out because I want to know what it was that I was struggling with. It's been a fascinating study, and I have really appreciated all the learning I go through, and I maintain that certification to be able to keep up to date with all the new research that's coming out. But I always want to find those good counselors in our communities that I can recommend people to, because they understand combat. They understand our veteran life. They under our world lifestyle, but they also understand post-traumatic growth. Not all counselors understand that. And so that's why when I meet and I call and I talk with counselors, because I myself am receiving eye movement desensitization, reprocessing therapy when I struggle, but I want to find those that have a positive outlook, that have a Christ-centered focus, that we can go in there and talk about Christ, walk through some of the problems, keep our focus on Christ, and continue to learn. But our churches need to be part of that. And that's why Team Room, War, Hope, and Growth exists, is to help our churches understand the military community, understand the struggles that we have when it comes to post-traumatic stress, moral injury, when it comes to even with TBI. So we don't focus a lot on TBI because that's a neurological condition, but we do want to talk about the symptoms and how they look and how they relate. But again, thank you for watching this first installment of Team Room Talk. I hope you continue watching more of them as we go, as the next one is going to be on a educational philosophy and why that's so important in discussions like this and topics like this. So thank you for your time. I appreciate you all. Take a look at the website and just keep praying for us as we get ready to go to Ukraine and some more opportunities here in the United States. So take care. God bless.